Begin the afternoon with Frank Martin, who's undefeated, National Golden Gloves winner from Indianapolis, Indiana, putting his undefeated record on the line against Tyrone Luckey. Then you will see from the Dallas area, Fernando Garcia matching up against Juan Tapia. Fernando Garcia incidentally picked up a victory in the last prize fight that happened here at AT&T Stadium on the undercard of Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. The Garcias, the first name will change, the last name stays the same as you go ahead and see Frank Martin in the ring getting set to collide against Tyrone Luckey here at AT&T Stadium. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope all of you and your families are safe and sound during these rather difficult times with COVID-19. To get the action started, we send it to our ring announcer, my brother. Here is Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, for our fight card this evening, presented by Premier Boxing Champions. It is all brought to you by TGB Promotions, Hand Down Promotions, DSG Promotions, and Fox Sports. Sponsored by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey, the finest, the tastiest, the smoothest liquid gold in the world. And O'Reilly Auto Parts. Order your parts online at O'ReillyAuto.com and get free curbside pickup. Our first bout this evening will be 8 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the gold with the red shirt. He weighed 138.4 pounds. His record stands 12 victories, 8 by knockout, opposite of 12 defeats and 4 draws. Fighting out of Long Beach, New Jersey, presenting Tyrone Luckey. And his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the gold trunks. He weighed 138.6 pounds. His record stands undefeated, 11 victories, including 8 by knockout. Fighting out of Indianapolis, Indiana, presenting Frank Martin.
Frank Martin, trained under the guidance of Derek James.
So, Ray, does Miguel have to get ready for the fight, or is he opening up the pay-per-view?
He's not. That's a different Miguel Flores, who will be matching up against Eduardo
What a
Ramirez.
fight. That's a great fight.
That is an excellent fight to begin the pay-per-view. But we start off with Frank Martin, who's undefeated, 25 years of age, with the 72% knockout percentage, matching up against Tyrone Luckey. And what's interesting about Luckey, he has been unlucky against undefeated fighters. He's gone up against the likes of Ryan Garcia, Tevin Farmer, Jason Sosa, Alberto Machado. So he's a little bit of a litmus test to a young up-and-coming fighter in Frank Martin.
It's interesting. 12 wins, 12 losses, 8 KOs, and he's been knocked out 8 times, so he's pretty even.
It's either feast or famine when it comes to Tyrone Luckey. As you see, Frank Martin is a southpaw. Incidentally, Felix, he became the first Hoosier to win the National Golden Gloves since 1993. He did that in 2017. So a 24-year drought, and then he was able to win the National Golden Gloves. So an extensive amateur career, sparred in Las Vegas several months ago against interim champion Rolando Romero at the Mayweather Boxing Club. Said Floyd Mayweather was watching him spar and gave him some words of wisdom, and that says a lot to be able to get some pointers from Floyd Money Mayweather.
Yeah, he goes into the pocket, lands a couple, and then goes back out. That left, watch out for that left to the body and also to the head.
There you see they mix it up on the inside. You know, the last big prize fight that I can recollect that happened in the hometown of Frank Martin of Indianapolis, Indiana, was dating back to the late great Vernon Forrest when he fought Sugar Shane Mosley. So that is how much we go back when it comes to boxing tradition in Indianapolis. No, stand that, correct that. It was Winky Wright against Shane Mosley.
Winky.
Yes, Winky Wright. But right now they are mixing it up on the inside. Hey, don't forget Spence Garcia on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. You want to join us at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Prelims on FS2 coming your way in less than 2 hours. Nice straight left there by Frank Martin to back up Tyrone Luckey.
His last fight, 120 punches per round. That was the average for Frank Martin.
He did it in Las Vegas. That was on the undercard of a Mayweather Promotions card that was on national television. Nice stiff jab. Well, when I look at trainers and who their pupils are, you know, Derek James in the corner, Frank Martin, and Derek James will have himself a busy night as he is the lead trainer of Errol Spence Jr.
Oh, you have the cream of the crop there with James.
Derek James, arguably, if Errol Spence wins tonight, you would have to gather that he should be the trainer of the year because of what he was able to do with Jermell Charlo, having defeated Jason Rosario back on end of September at Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut, to capture 2 world titles. And Charlo is the undisputed super welterweight champion in the world. And if Errol Spence is able to defeat Danny Garcia tonight, then I think it's a clear case for him to be trainer of the year.
We're all waiting for that fight. How is Spence going to come out after that crash that he had last year? So
that car accident on October 10. Final moments as they are mixing it up in the early going here with Frank Martin and Tyrone Luckey. That ends the first stanza. Going to the corner with Tyrone Luckey. I got to tell you too, Felix, this is a palace. This opened up over 11 years ago, over $1 billion facility. But you know what? They always say they do things bigger in Texas. Well, lo and behold, Jerry World is immaculate.
Amazing. I mean, everything is spaced out. The boxing ring looks spectacular. So we're waiting for a great fight here between Spence and Garcia. And there'll be some fans here, which it's not going to be your usual 48,000, 50,000 like when we saw Garcia and Spence last year. But there's going to be some people here.
Capacity is what I'm hearing. 16,000 anticipated for tonight's main event with Spence and Garcia. COVID restrictions, social distancing is in place. So I'm just glad that we're able to get fight fans here inside of AT&T Stadium, Felix, because without a doubt, fight fans are the lifeblood of combat sports.
That's what it is, and slowly but surely, we're going to get back on track.
Well, absolutely. Frank Martin and Tyrone Luckey. Well, Tyrone Luckey is trying to get back on track. He had a little bit of a rough first round as Frank Martin using his boxing skill. And there's a nice straight left that sprayed Tyrone Luckey.
He's been there, which you mentioned Farmer and Garcia, so he's been there with experienced fighters. And I think Martin here is, being a little cautious, watching that this kid doesn't come out with something crazy out of the blue.
Well, Frank Martin, his father, certainly paying attention to this matchup. His mother watches every single fight, but she says she has to turn away a lot. She doesn't like to see her son get hit.
Yeah, like most mothers, huh?
No question about it. But without a doubt, Frank Martin is not getting hit too much, at least in the early going here.
He hasn't exploded just yet. Now he started a little bit here with the left.
2 straight left hands down the center. And he's also using his jab to go to the abdomen of Tyrone Luckey.
First time he's stepping up to 8 rounds. So that's maybe why he's being a little more conservative here in the first couple of rounds.
Well, as in any young fighter, as they are moving up the ranks, I mean, it's important. When people look at some of these records, they're like, well, why is this guy fighting? I like the fact that you see guys that are 500, a little bit above 500, because on their best day, they can surprise a young prospect, and they prove whether or not a guy is a pretender or a contender.
Yes, that's correct. And, for these guys that are coming up, it's a big fight for them.
We are coming up on 75 seconds to go in this, our second round between Frank Martin and Tyrone Luckey. As Frank Martin, this is his second fight here in 2020. There's a body shot that backed up Tyrone Luckey. Luckey is hurt. And now Frank Martin looking to swarm him. He's still in major trouble. It's Tyrone Luckey with under a minute to go as he gets backed up to the perimeter of the ring.
Now he's just going to pick him apart.
Tyrone Luckey in some trouble as Frank Martin unloading that straight left, but it all started from the body shot right to the abdomen. He is ripping him to the body, very similar to that of Errol Spence, who also happens to be a southpaw as well. I'm I'm sure you're going to see quite a bit of that here tonight at AT&T Stadium, Felix.
Yes, and those body shots now are really hurting him. He's down.
And down goes Luckey.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I think it's going to be a matter of time here, Ray. He's still hurting.
Can he be saved by the bell? And I'm not talking about a 1990s sitcom. I'm talking about this fight here to begin the night. There's a straight left backing up. Luckey again. He's down for the second time in the fight.
Will the bell save him?
5, 6, 7, 8.
There we go.
He beat the count, and he will make it to the third round, but he is in serious trouble.
It's a matter of time here, Ray, for Luckey, which up to now he's very unlucky.
Oh, no question. I will echo those sentiments, Felix.
So this kid, Frank Martin, looks for real. He's not even breathing hard. Going to the third round here.
You know what they say, Felix, iron sharpens iron. And when you are there in camp learning under the guidance of Errol Spence with someone like Derek James, who is so much a student of boxing and a wonderful teacher, you can only hope but to get better.
Yes, of course. And for James, this is just a little preview. What he's going to work a little harder with the Spence Garcia fight coming up in pay-per-view. But this kid Martin, he does have a future.
Well, there was that straight left that started the downward spiral for Tyrone Luckey. Vicious bodywork and a nice sharp shot on the inside. It was well above the belt line, and I know that Luckey was trying to look at the referee as to say he hit me below the belt, but that was not to be the case.
A legitimate shot.
Round number 3. This one is scheduled for 8. Ray Flores, Felix De Jesus. Don't forget Spence Garcia on Fox Sports, PBC pay-per-view. You can watch it on your smart TV. Call your local cable provider or satellite provider for availability and be a part of this outstanding night of boxing for the welterweight championship of the world. There's a nice jab to the body. These are two fighters in their primes going at it, and Spence Garcia for welterweight supremacy. Right now, Frank Martin teeing off on Tyrone Luckey, and Martin has been non-stop here in this third round, Felix.
Yeah, now he started to really go. What we saw in his last fight against Raymond Yonong, the Philippine prospect, he's just picking this kid apart now.
Well, Frank Martin went to Las Vegas, got some quality sparring at the Mayweather Boxing Club. As I pointed out, he's been in there with Rolando Romero, and he said you can get a lot of good sparring all over the city of Las Vegas, the fighting capital of the world. But right here in Arlington, it is becoming a fight destination, with this being the 5th prize fight in the history of this immaculate venue.
This lightweight bout has a lot of nice names that Martin could start looking into.
And look, 135 is absolutely blossoming. I mean, you have the likes of Teofimo Lopez, you have Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, also Rolando Romero in the mix as well. He's an interim champion, so young, hungry fighters. There's a straight left that buckled Luckey.
There we go.
And he eats another big shot coming forward.
He's just trying to stay up. He's hurt right now.
And it's only round 3. Martin is walking him down. There's a nice right cross, and down he goes. No, that was a slip.
He's setting up that right, Ray, that left, coming in with that body shot.
Tyrone Luckey with the jab right to the abdomen. He's in impeccable shape, 25 years of age, and you can tell, and he's proclaimed that he wants to start to make some moves at 135. And you got to be able to show that guys like this, like Tyrone Luckey, are inferior to you, and so far that has been the case, Felix.
That's right. Luckey, who was born in Long Beach, New Jersey, now lives in Galloway, so he hasn't moved far, about 30 miles.
Is that close to you? I know you're a New Jersey guy.
Yeah, a little bit, 50 or 60 miles.
Okay. Not too far. Frank Martin is from Indianapolis, Indiana, the southern part of the state. I'm originally from East Chicago, Indiana, home of former quality fighter and Angel Man Freddy.
Oh, those body shots are just hurting.
He's unloading. And round 3 comes to a close. Well, Tyrone Luckey, we'll see the 4th round.
He's hanging in there, a lot of heart. He does have a lot of heart. just he's overmatched right now by Frank Martin. Again, the pay-per-view tonight. It's not only Spence and Garcia. You also have Fundora.
Yes,
Dowry Inferno.
Fundora and Habib Ahmed.
That's going to be a good one, too.
Yeah, Fundora stands 6 feet 6 inches tall, and we're seeing some of the action on the inside again as Tyrone Luckey came forward, and that was what they called, I believe, the headbutt is what it was. That's what the referee called it. But we have a loaded undercard. Now, you know the fight I'm excited about, Felix, and I've been talking about this all week long on the undercard, is Francisco Santana and Josecito Lopez. That fight, to me, I mean, Santana said this could be the West Coast Gaddy Ward. I think it is going to be sheer violence. I mean, I think
whoever loses that fight, their career might be over.
There's a distinct possibility that might be the case. Or at least from this level of competition.
Yes.
On television. Right now we are on to round number 4, though. Frank Martin, Tyrone Luckey. Martin, a National Golden Gloves winner dating back to 2017, trained under the guidance of Derek James, the lead trainer of Errol Spence Jr. Don't forget Spence Garcia on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. You can get that on a variety of platforms, your smart TV, on your computer, also your local cable and satellite providers. Another straight left that connected right on the jaw of Tyrone Luckey.
So his nickname is Hands of Stone, Luckey, but he hasn't shown too much so far.
Yeah, well, that is quite a nickname.
Yes.
Roberto Duran made that ever famous in prize fighting, Manos de Pierda, translated to Hands of Stone. I got the Fox Sports translator to my right, and there's a slip. Felix de Jesus, a man of many talents, calling the fights with me here, and then we'll jump into the translated role all evening long on FS2 and on the pay-per-view.
Your work doesn't finish here either, right?
No, it doesn't. I will be calling the fights for the international audience overseas in England, Fox Sports Australia as well, alongside my brother Miguel Flores, who's doing double duty as well. All three of us are doing double duty for that matter.
Good stuff, good stuff. He did connect there a little bit lucky, so let's see if that changes the fight a little bit.
Coming up on the midway point of round 4. So far, though, it is all Frank Martin who's clobbering now. He's got him pressed against the ropes. There's a nice left uppercut for Frank Martin.
Said it didn't hurt him. Let's see.
I like how everything off of Martin, Felix, is off the jab.
Yes. Just comes in, and then he'll. This time he's been in a little more than I've seen him in other fights. You know, where he steps in and then steps out after he connects. This time he's a little more in the pocket, staying in there and seeing what Luckey has to offer.
No question. Under a minute to go here in the 4th round. You know the build of Frank Martin, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a welterweight prospect kind of contender in Dominic Dalton from Detroit. They have similar builds, but the fact that Dalton is a conventional fighter, Frank Martin is a southpaw. Very strong, you know, they're incredibly chiseled. There's a straight left that backed up Luckey again. But to his credit, he's staying in the fight.
Yes, he's still trying to connect, although Martin is winning the fight up to now. Maybe it reminds me a little bit, maybe a little Pernell Whitaker. Martin's a little more chiseled, I guess.
He is, you know, I mean, Pernell Whitaker, and Pernell Whitaker is no stranger to fighting here in the great state of Texas. Fought Julio Cesar Chavez and a couple straight lefts. As we are now halfway home of this 8-round matchup, but Martin, he puts down Luckey for the 3rd time in the fight.
They're still counting him. Although the bell rung, he wants to see the referee if he can survive another round. And that's it.
And he does. Well, I was a little bit quick on, I thought the round was going to end because we saw the clock evaporate from our screen, but Martin again will take a look at this knockdown shot to the body, Felix.
Yeah, I just don't like the way Luckey has been turning to his left. I mean, he can be set up for a vicious hit from Martin.
And look, it just pounding away, and Luckey just pretty much covering up. I'm surprised the referee, or were you surprised that the referee allowed it to continue? Because he was just covering up.
I thought he should have stopped it. I think he'll stop it now. Luckey is telling his trainer that, you know, he's feeling the punches.
I think it's fair to say that Tyrone Luckey has a short leash in this 5th round, and they are taking a long look at Tyrone Luckey, the 35-year-old who's been up against the likes of Alberto Machado, Ryan Garcia, just to name a few. And it has been all Frank Martin, the 25-year-old, and down he goes for the 4th time in the fight from a debilitating body
over.
shot.
I mean, he screamed. You heard him. That hurt him.
And this one is over as Frank Martin from Indianapolis, Indiana, remains undefeated. This was our first look at him, and he looks sensational tonight.
Wow, what a prospect, this kid. If he keeps going this way, first 8th rounder, he didn't go up to the 8th round. In the 5th round, it's over. So there's a lot of good things for James and Martin in the future.
That is how you close the show if you are Frank Martin, as we take a look at how the fight unfolded.
Oh, he was just setting him up. The kid, Luckey, was hanging tough, and then after that blow where he screamed, that it really hurt him, it was over. You knew he wasn't getting up.
I guess the year of 2020 is the year of the body shot. We saw it with Jermel Charlo and Jason Rosario, and now, lo and behold, we see it here with Frank Martin and his opponent here tonight in Tyrone Luckey.
Yeah, people say, well, body shot, you know, how can he not get up? He cannot get up because those punches really hurt. And if you're not 100%, it's going to hurt for a while. Bruises tomorrow for Luckey.
I've heard so many times from prize fighters that they would rather take a shot to the chin instead of a power shot to the body.
Yeah. When you wake up the next morning, it's painful. So Martin moves on. Now his record for Martin is 12-0 with 9 KOs.
Picks up his 12th victory. And now he's becoming a known commodity, especially having fought on a card of this magnitude. Frank Martin with Derek James and company. And now, for the official particulars, here is our ring announcer, Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes in 2 minutes and 31 seconds of round number 5. For your winner by knockout and still undefeated, Frank Martin.
So Frank Martin remains undefeated. And I look forward to seeing him move up the ranks at 135 because, as we pointed out, Felix, 135 is a division that is full of young, hungry champions.
I think some 135 individuals will try to avoid this kid Martin because what he showed tonight is perfect. There's a good future for Frank Martin.